So Thursday after the storm, it's November. I don't know what day, but it's November, that much I can tell you. So come into a comfortable seat. Bring your heels, if you're sitting cross-legged, try to bring your heels underneath your knees as opposed to just crossing at the ankles. And then you can place your hands on top of your thighs, palms up, palms down. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Create some space between your ears and your shoulders or your collarbones. And just start to, get situated with yourself. Right? Don't worry about the things that are external and going on around you because they're going to still happen. The one thing you can start to control is slowing down by using your breath. So start to breathe in and out of the nose when it's comfortable for you. And then when you're ready for starting to lengthen the breath, you start to lengthen the breath, both the inhale and the exhales. So fill up belly, ribs, chest. And empty out. So, not just in this yoga class, but in life, when things start to get a little bit crazy around us, and the noises just keep coming at you, take a moment and sit down and start to breathe. We'll call Randy. So as you breathe, notice how you can sit a little bit more upright. Everything starts to lengthen and expand. The collarbones broaden. You start to lift out of your hips. Sit on top of your sitting bones. And as you exhale, the spine stays long, but everything relaxes. And bring your hands to your heart center from wherever they are. Perhaps set an intention. I thought this song was appropriate for today and yesterday. Oh, but you're not hearing this song, I just realized. I'm going to make you hear it. And again, breathe. Open your eyes, bring your hands up over your head. Hook your thumbs together, spread your fingers apart. Pull so you can drop the elbows out to the side a little bit. And you're pulling your fingers from each other. So you'll feel a stretch across the front of the chest and shoulders. Keep your arms as they are, inhale. Exhale, turn to your right side. It may not be, all that much of a turn, that much rotation. Inhale back to center. Just switch the cross of your thumbs, pull them apart a little bit. And then turn to your left side. And maybe one side has a little bit more space than the other. Fairly normal. Inhale, come back. Release the arms, but keep the elbows bent, like a goddess arm or a goalpost. And once again, turn to the right side. This time, take your left hand outside the right knee. Right hip behind you, over to your left side a little bit more. Rise up on your fingertips, lengthen your spine, inhale. Exhale, twist over to the right side, gaze over your right shoulder. Let your left shoulder release away from your ears. And if you're like me, you might hear some snap, crackle, pop in your spine. Just, where there's no pain involved, it's okay, but if there's pain, you back off. Bring your right arm up and over, lean to your left side, keep your sitting bones grounded. Inhale, lengthen and rotate as you exhale. Take your right hand across your body. Lift your chest up. Good. Inhale, just make a cat-cow here. Pull your belly into your spine and pull back away from your sitting bones. Inhale, come back up. Reach the arms all the way up overhead. Bend the elbows again like goddess arms. Squeeze your shoulders together. Turn to your left side. And then release the right hand outside left knee. Left hand a little bit more over to your right side. Inhale. And twist, exhale. Keep finding the length in the inhales and the depth in the exhales. Inhale, bring your left arm up and over to your right side. Good. Stay grounded through your sitting bones. Exhale, hands crossed. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, little cat-cow, so roll away from your sitting bones, scoop your belly out. Inhale, lift your chest. Extend your arms up and open. And then take both arms behind you, lean back, shake out if you're in a cross-legged position. Switch the cross of your legs. And you might notice I'm actually supporting my knees with the blocks. It feels kind of good, but you can also sit on top of the blocks. Take your arms behind you, interlace your fingers, bring the knuckles down to the floor. Lift your chest up, spread your shoulders open, collarbones broaden. Inhale, and exhale. Fold over your legs, bring your arms up and away from your back. Head comes down, sink back towards your heels. Now, stay in this forward fold, but bend your arms into your waistline. And then switch the finger cross, just one finger over, and reach back up. And again, you might have a little more space, you might not have as much space. You know, everything is all relative. Take a breath, inhale, come on up to sitting. Release the arms, stretch them overhead. And then float them down by your side. If you have blocks, just move them off to the side if you're sitting on a block. Bend your knees and lift your hips up off the block. And then shake out your legs side to side in a little bit of a windshield wiper. And then take it over to either side and swing your legs around. Come onto your hands and knees. Hi, Holly. Inhale, tuck the toes, arch the back, lift the belly. Exhale, top of the foot, shin, round, and curl your spine. Push a little bit away from your hands, so your hips are going a little bit closer to your heels for this one. And then as you inhale, dip your belly and come a little forward. So a little bit of rocking and rolling in our rounded spine, cat and cows. Use as much energy through the arms as you'd like, or make it nice and relaxed. Inhale and exhale. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, come forward, arch your back. Exhale, roll it back, round your back, and then push back to a child's pose with your arms extended out in front of you. Rise onto the pads of your fingertips. Pull your shoulders away from the ears and find energy under the arms and support your shoulders. Breathe across the spaces, top and bottom, side to side, in a north, south, east, west. Stay on your finger pads, but don't lift your shoulder blades up, so keep them down. And let your belly soften in between your thighs. You know, one of the few times that you can just simply let go. Inhale, press the palms down, lift the fingers up, play a little piano. And then press individual fingers down to the floor. Thumbs and forefingers bear, more of the weight, or a pointer finger. Keep your arms outstretched. Inhale, rise back up to your knees, tuck your toes, bring your knees a little bit maybe closer towards your hips. Exhale, lift your hips in the air, downward facing dog. Rise up onto your toes. Breathe in. Just have to make an adjustment on my watch. Good. Downward dog. First dog, maybe, for most of us. Bend one knee, then the other. Let your head hang down. Press weight from one side to the other, from front to back, from hand to foot, foot to hand. And then find some stillness when you're ready in your downward facing dog. The heels never have to touch the floor, right? And then, again, keep that energy in the underarms wrapping around your shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale high on your tippy toes. Engage your quadricep muscles by pulling your knees up to your hips. Lift up your pelvic floor muscles, draw your belly button to your spine. Keep this length as you shift into a plank position, top of a push-up. Resist the earth with the hands. Push down, dome a little bit into your shoulders, look forward, lift your knees up, and then push back to downward facing dog. You can make this as intense or as easy as you need to. You could be on your knees, you can skip the whole thing and just find a child's pose. Or you can make it really full of energy. Inhale on your toes. Exhale, shift forward. Now, because it is Planksgiving, lower your knees to the earth. Bring your forearms to the earth. Good. Measure out the width of your arms. So take your hands to your elbows And then bring your hands in front of you again, and either interlace your fingers or bring your palms down to the floor. Inhale, lift your knees up off the floor, shoulders over your hips. Breathe, forearm plank. Again, the knees can be down. Now drop your right hip down. You can stack your feet for a second or not, and then come back to the center and drop your left hip down. And then come back to the center. Drop your right hip down. Come back to the center. Drop your left hip down. And let's go on a few more of those on your own. Use your breath. Start to turn so one hip is on top of the other. Think of it like Vashisthasana, which is side plank in our yoga lives. And let's get a couple more on each side. And then when you're, take the next set, right, left. Come back to center. Open your arms so the hands are together. Open them out. Shift forward. Drop your hips. Open your feet as wide as your mat. Lift your chest. The belly pulls up and in, Sphinx pose. Bring your shoulders back, collarbones broaden. Top of the foot in, shin press down. Lift your knees up, not your legs. Just your knees engage the legs. All right, come back to child's pose. Push all the way back. Keep the arms out. Inhale back to your hands and knees. Step your right foot in between your two hands. Place your hands on blocks if you have them. And they can be right by the ankle or a little bit forward. Send your left leg back behind you so there's no pressure on top of the kneecap. Pull the shoulders back, collarbones in, and hug your hips towards center. Big toe, little toe, ball of the foot. Inhale. And exhale. Sit a little bit deeper into the hip. Take your back foot, should be your left foot. Turn it to your right side a little bit. Bring, if you have the block, bring it on the inside of your right leg and bring your right hand to the block. Take your left hand to your hip. Let's start with the hip. So put your hand on your hip and then push your right arm into your inner thigh. And as you do both of those actions, begin to open the torso to the left. So the action is in the torso, not the hips. And then open up and broaden a little bit more. Take your left arm to the air, to the sky. Keep hugging your right knee to your shoulder, to your hip. And again, if your arm, for you having injuries, I know a couple of you have injuries in your shoulder, put your hand on your hip. It's fine. Take another breath. Look down at your right toes. Inhale, rise up. It's like a warrior two on your bent knee. And then hinge a little forward into your right leg. Left arm behind you, right arm in front of you. Strong arms like I'm sitting on your arms. Reach out and gaze through your right middle finger. Take a breath. Left arm down, right arm up. Lift out of your waistline. Some of you might touch the floor here. Some of you might touch your thigh or your shin. Doesn't matter. But lift out of your waistline as you make that release. One more breath. Keep pushing forward in the right knee. Exhale. Straighten your front leg and stretch your arms out. You might have to shimmy that right foot forward a little bit. Hinge forward, right hand down. For me, I'm going to just show you. Taking a block even higher will be very successful in this pose. Left arm up, actually left arm on the hip. Rotate the torso. Notice where the work is coming from. It's not just coming from the shoulder jamming back. It's coming from the torso, the parts of our torso that move and rotate. Left arm comes up when and if you're ready for it. One more breath. See if you can find space on the right side of your body. And then exhale, look at your right foot. Turn yourself back around to the front, bend your knee. And then let's go ahead and straighten the front leg and stretch out. I woke up, I'm sorry guys, with a hamstring cramp that I can still feel right now. So I'm going to bring my blocks further back and perhaps higher up. Yeah? Just to accommodate some tight hamstrings for me. Inhale. And exhale, fold. One more breath. Rebend your front knee, hands to the floor blocks. Let's go ahead and step into a downward facing dog. I'm going to keep my hands on the blocks. Push the weight away from the hands towards the heels, head down. Squeeze your biceps by your ears, and then there's a slight rotation at the shoulder. One more breath, inhale on your toes. And then exhale that breath to your knees. Step your left foot in between your two hands. So I like to have the blocks. If you need a padding for your knees, grab something that you can just double up your mat as well. So have your hands on either side of the foot on the blocks I love, but if you don't have blocks, go get them. Pull your shoulders back, collarbones broaden. We're going to be doing this for a while, guys, so might as well have the accoutrement. Take your block to the inside of your left foot. Take your right foot and spin it to your left side. Take your left foot inside, left hand, excuse me, twister. Right hand to your hip. Rotate your torso open. So start to feel where the movement is happening. It's not just happening in the shoulder. It's happening in the torso, and by some stroke of love, our torso and our shoulders connected to our torso. Now hug your knee and your tricep together. Then you decide, am I going to bring my arm up today? Hug your hips underneath you. So it's a very strong pose. Even if you're on your knees, you can make this incredibly active. Look down at your left toes. Inhale, bring yourself up to a warrior two on your knee. And then just hinge a little forward into that left side. Right? So you're not sitting directly on top of your knee. Reach your arms in two directions. Pull the right arm back a little bit more. Gaze down your left middle finger. Inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down, left arm comes up. Lift out of your waistline. Lean back. Stay here with the breath. Start to find, make it a place that you can stay and maintain. Inhale, bring your right hand to your hip. Straighten your left leg. Shimmy it out as much as you need. And then turn your torso, right arm back, out to the side. And then hinge forward. Left hand on the inside, foot shin or block. So as much as I can rotate, and then the right arm comes up. Toes up or down, your choice. Just looking to create space in our bodies. One more breath. Exhale, hands down. Turn your body forward. Rebend your front knee. Sink your hips low. And then let's go ahead and straighten the front leg. Walk your hands back, toes up or down. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Good, bend your front knee. Take your hands on either side of the foot, tuck your right toes underneath you. This time, let's just step to the top of the mat. When you get to the top of the mat, take two fists in between your feet. Bend your knees. Let your chest and belly rest on your thighs. And hang your head down. Grab opposite elbows. Stay here. Start to shift your weight a little bit more so your hips are stacked over your knees. Or your heels, I should say, excuse me. Inhale. And exhale. And then decide, am I going to straighten my legs more? And how much you straighten them doesn't really matter. Good. Breathe in and out. You can rock, sway side to side. And then come back to center and switch the cross of the arms if you're holding. And again, just, kind of itemize it. Hips are over my heels. Do I want to straighten my legs? Is it beneficial to straighten my legs here? That's another question altogether. Release your hands and let your body sway. Let it just hang down. Tuck your chin to your chest. Bring your hands to your hips. With a rounded spine, pull up to standing. Good. Keep your hands on your hips. Level it out. Good. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now, with your hands at your hips and your feet on the floor, press firmly into the big toe, the little toe, the ball of the foot, and the heel. And then lift your kneecaps up. Bring your tailbone underneath you. So in other words, we're not here. We're here, even if the knees are softly bent. Good. Now, tilt your pelvis so your pubic bone points up. So think of it like being in a bridge on your back, with your back imprinting in your spine into the floor. Good. And then tilt it the other way. So this posterior and anterior tilt of the pelvis. Knees can be bent a little bit, a lot, or not at all. And a couple of those. And then come back to neutral. Shift your hips to your right side. So it's a little hip hiker. And then shift your hips to your left side. It's like hula hooping, only slow. Come back. This is how we kind of recognize our bodies. Now take this in a circular motion. Hula hoop. I don't know if anybody's good at hula hooping. I am certainly not. But this gives us awareness of our pelvis, how it moves, and reverse it if you're doing that. What kind of yoga class is this? Hula hoop yoga class. Come back to center. Good. Now ground your feet. Find the levelness of your hips, so it's not side to side, forward or back. It's neutral. Push down through your feet to lengthen your legs. Keep your hips as they are and stretch your arms up overhead. Inhale, and turn your palms inside out. Lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, lean over to the right side. Just pull the left shoulder back. Lift out of your waistline. Inhale back to center. Switch the finger cross. Up and over to the other side. Grounding firmly through your feet. Inhale to center. Open your arms like that goal pose. Exhale, this time just fold all the way over your legs. Hang your head. Shake it out, yes and no. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot all the way back. Big step back. Come onto your fingertips or the blocks. Left thigh parallel to the floor. Knee is over the ankle. Good. Pull your shoulders back and open. Back leg is strong like it's in a plank. Hug your left hip to the center. Pull your right kneecap up. Now inhale and hover your fingers off the floor of the blocks. So you have to start to feel a lot of action in your glutes. And then stretch your arms overhead as you come into crescent, but bend your back knee. Now sit that low and straighten the back leg. Lift out of your waistline. Find that reach, find the levelness still of the hips. Inhale. So I'm not dropping my right hip down and sticking my left hip out, right? I'm staying as level as I can in this pose. One more breath. Good. Now, open up your arms to a T. Hinge slightly forward. And then just take your left hand inside, right hand to your hip. Turn your right foot on its side. Left hand on the hip, left knee and tricep. We did this on our knee. Then stack your shoulders as you rotate the torso. That's the part of the body that can move here. And then maybe the right arm comes up. Side angle pose. Extended side angle pose for now. Press the big toe down, the little toe. The back foot is turned a little bit towards the right corner of your mat in front. Press down through your foot firmly. Look down. Inhale, rise up to warrior two. Good. Left hand forward, right hand back. Breathe. Straighten your front leg for a moment. Give it a little break. Rebend it. Good. Inhale, right arm down, left arm up. Exhale, reach your left arm out and straighten your left leg. Reach forward. Don't go anywhere. Inhale, rebend warrior two. Exhale, right arm down, left arm up. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Reach out, don't go anywhere, just reach. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, right arm down, left arm up. Inhale, straighten your front leg, hinge forward, reach forward. And now let's find triangle. Left hand on the inside, outside, foot shin, or on a block. Blocks are just incredibly helpful. Right hand moves to your hip. Stack your shoulders just like we did on our knees. Stack your shoulders, begin to rotate through the torso. Again, notice where your body moves, how it moves. Right arm comes up when you're ready, if you're ready. It may never come up. Lift out of the left side of your body, so if you're having trouble putting your hand on the floor or somewhere else, elevating it on something will help you get that lift under the back side of the body. One more breath. Good. Inhale, bring your right hand down. Spin your back foot forward, hands on the floor or blocks. Come on the ball of the back foot. And then shift your weight back. Maybe the heel comes down as the left toes come up. Lengthen your spine, inhale, and exhale. So I didn't tell you to shorten the stance. Of course, if you need to, you will. We'll do that sometime later, probably. Lower your left toes if they're up. Rebend your left knee. Plant your hands to the floor blocks. And step back into a downward facing dog. Hips up in the air. Just a dog. So plant your big finger, I keep saying that, your thumb and your pointer fingers down, firm into the underside of the fingers. And then little rotation at the shoulders as the elbow creases. Pull forward. Breathe. Inhale high on your tippy toes. Shift forward to a high plank, shoulders over wrists. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale on your tippy toes and bend your knees. Look forward, take yourself to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Where are your hips? Where's your gaze? Press down firmly, rise up, arms up. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Arms by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, open the arms and forward fold, hands onto the floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot all the way back. You know you always have the option of going back down onto your knees. Hands on either side of your foot. Hips are squared. Rise up into your fingertips and start to feel what activates when I have to hold myself up in this position. Right? So it's not just putting weight in my hands. Inhale, rise up to crescent, bend your back knee. Tailbone underneath you, lift your heart, spiral your arms open. Same action as dog. And then stay this low, lift, straighten your legs. Back legs, excuse me. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, open your arms to a T. Hinge a little forward. Take your right hand on the inside or on a block. Turn your left foot on its side, left hand goes onto your hip. Bring your tailbone beneath you. So open up the shoulders, left over right. And then if you feel that you've opened up where you need to be, left arm comes up. Press firmly into the foot. Big toe, little toe, ball of the foot. Everything is strong. Knee hugs into tricep. Take another breath. Look down at your right toes. Inhale, find warrior two. Exhale, settle. Straighten your front leg. And exhale, rebend it. Shoulders over hips. Just check out the right knee because sometimes it gets sneaky and moves into the center line of our body because we're not using enough of the big muscles. So really think about using your glutes and your external rotators to keep that hip open and the leg now parallel, thigh parallel to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up. Nothing changed in my leg. Lift out of your waistline. Inhale, reach the right arm forward. Straighten your front leg. Rebend the knee, warrior two. Exhale, reverse it. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach out. We're not going anywhere. Good. Inhale, rebend, warrior two. Exhale, left arm down, right arm up. Inhale, straighten the front leg, hinge forward. Now begin to hinge all the way forward. Left hand moves to the hip. Right hand comes inside, outside, foot shin, or on a block. I'm liking the blocks this morning. I'm feeling stiff. I know that I get more out of getting a little bit higher in my body. And then rotate the torso, the shoulders stack. And if you're ready, you can take the left arm up. Triangle pose. Pulling your left hip underneath or your right hip underneath you towards the left side of your mat. Lift out of your right side waistline. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, one more breath, everybody. Find a little bit more space. As the exhale occurs, take your left hand down. Spin yourself forward. Take your hands on the blocks or floor. And straighten your front leg, toes up or down, you choose. Inhale. Exhale, fold over your right leg. Pull the right hip back, the left hip forward. So it doesn't have to be fast to be powerful, right? In fact, power yoga is slower. It's longer holds, more intense. Take another breath. As you bend the knee, empty the breath. Hands on the floor blocks. Step into downward facing dog. Inhale high on your tippy toes. Shift forward to a high plank. Look forward. Shift your shoulders a little bit in front of your wrists. Either lower to your knees or bend your elbows. Go halfway down. Upward dog. Lift your heart up. Press firmly into your first and second fingers. Lift out of your wrists. Lift your knees up. Push your toes down. And then push back to downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, come to your forearms. Dolphin pose, so walk your feet in a little closer. Press firmly through the forearms so there's no pressure in your neck, shoulders. So push the forearms down and begin to walk your feet up towards your hands. It doesn't have to be a lot. Ideally, the hips will get on top of the arms, right? Eventually. That's when you lift your legs in the air. Take another breath. Exhale, step back to your plank. Just a little foreshadowing. Stay in your forearm plank. We've been here before. And then we're going to drop the right hip to the floor. Come back to center and drop the left hip to the floor. Come back to the center, take the right hip to the floor. Come back to the center, take the left hip. And now go on your own for a few counts. I'm being very sneaky, getting our planks giving challenging in our yoga class. Don't tell anybody. So keep going. Just a couple more rounds. Just finding some stability in your core. You know, we don't just do planks just because they're a transition. They're also an incredibly powerful pose. And let's make this our last one on each side. Come back to your plank on your forearms. And then lift your hips again, dolphin pose, walk your feet in. Shoulders stack over elbows. Bring your knees to the earth. Child's pose with your arms by your side, palms face up. Drape your shoulders open over your thighs, let go. Good. Inhale, extend your arms out in front of you. This was my ringtone for so many years. So even in child's pose, feel the lift under the arms. I know it's like a little esoteric, but think about not lifting your shoulders up so much as engaging the muscles right at the armpit, strapping them around your shoulders so they're stable. Because our shoulders are a pretty unstable joint in a lot of us. Inhale to your hands and knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Keep your feet together back of the mat. Inhale, float your right leg up in the air. Open the hip, bend the knee, keep your shoulders square. You can play with it, you can move it, you can hold it. Breathe in and out. And then take that same right knee to the right tricep as you shift into a plank. And then take the knee to the center, step your right foot through. Turn your back foot on its side. Find the warrior two on your left side. Exhale. Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Hinge forward, put the left hand on the hip first. Right arm inside, outside, foot shin block. Rotate your torso, feel your hips. And then bring your left arm up over your shoulders. Now for me, I like to play around with my left arm peace fingers and underneath my ribs. And if I can't find my ribs, I know that I'm collapsed into my body. And so I need something to lift up. Maybe I just put my hand above my knee. Right? Triangle pose. Breathe in, breathe out. So working the rotation open. Take another breath as you look at your right foot. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Bend your right knee, bring a block with you if you'd like. Step up and find your half moon balancing pose. Stack your shoulders, open your hips, flex your foot. So here, the same thing as triangle, the same thing as we've been doing all along. As you keep your hand on your hip, rotate the torso And then when you are ready, left arm can come up. If you have, the ability today, if you're feeling balanced, look down your left leg and notice that it's in line with your hip. Your toes are pointing towards your left side. Half moon balance can also be done on your knees. Take a breath. Inhaling and exhaling, spinning your heart open. One more breath. Good, now take your left hand down to the floor. Square your shoulders and hips. Drop your left toes down. And then step back about 2 to 3 feet. Have your blocks nearby. Fold over your right leg. Your left leg should be out in line with your hip or a little bit wider, but not underneath or behind your right leg. So it's not on a tightrope. Inhale. And exhale. Fold over the right leg. Pull the right hip back. Left hip forward. Inhale. Bring your hands to your hips. Flat spine. Come all the way up to standing. Make your adjustments once you get up. If you have to adjust to a wider stance, a shorter stance, a longer stance. Hands on your hips. So that left hip should not be elevated. It should be level. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, reach your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, or perhaps you have reverse prayer up your back. And then again, now feel the levelness of the hips. If you can look in your camera, you'll see that one hip might be elevated or not. Keep the levelness there and hinge forward. Another good toy to play with here is taking one of your blocks on your back, and if it falls off to either side, you pretty much know you're not in a flat spine and a straight hip, right? Take another breath. Good. Now, release your right hand to your hip. Take your left arm out in front of you. We only came halfway down. Rotate your torso to the right, but keep your hips squared. Bring your left hand inside, outside foot, shin, or block. Now, before you begin to open your right arm up in the air, stack your shoulders by what? Rotating the torso. Right arm up. And if the right arm doesn't need to go up, it's okay. Keep it on your hip. Inhale and exhale. Good. Really challenging pose. I won't lie to you. Right? So that's good, Maxine. Good, guys. Nice, Michelle. Awesome, everybody. Looking forward. Take another breath. And then just bring the hands down on either side of your right leg and fold. Right hip back, left hip forward. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Bend your front knee, step back into a 3-legged dog, where we started. Bend and straighten. And then place all 4 paws on the floor. Inhale to a high plank pose. Shift forward. Bend your elbows halfway down. Roll up and over. Upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet are together at the back of the mat. Inhale, left leg lifts high. Open the hip. Keep the shoulders squared. Flex point. Roll through the ankle, toes, whatever feels good to you. Inhale, come forward. Left knee, left tricep high. Don't touch. Exhale, knee to chest. Step it through. Turn your left foot on its side. Open up warrior 2. Didn't mean to rhyme that. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, straighten the leg, right hand to the hip. Lean forward, left arm down. Right arm only comes up when you've opened up your torso sufficiently and you stack as if your shoulders were against a wall. Triangle pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Knees are lifted. Energy lifting up. No collapsing through the knees, through the spine, through the arms, through the neck. One more breath. Right hand comes to the hip as you exhale. Bend your left knee. Start to walk your left hand forward on a floor of blocks. Outside to the side or in front will be a little more challenging. And again, with the right hand on the hip, begin to rotate the torso open. And then float the right arm up in the air. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe you can look down behind you at your right leg. Good. So make sure that your shoulder, it's hard to tell on Zoom land, but make sure that your shoulder is right on top of your hand, right? You're not too far away from your leg, so you're a little bit more even. Half moon balance, take a breath. Find your deepest expression in the pose, meaning you're as open as you're getting for this moment. And then exhale the hands to the floor, square your hips, drop your right hip low. You can bend the left knee to do that. And then step the right foot back 2 to 3 feet, fold over your left leg. Inhale, and exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips as you rise up to stand. So I'm going to adjust myself a little bit, put my hands on the hips, and notice how level my hips might be. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, open the arms to the side and take your bind, whichever way you did it before. If you had your hands crossed, cross the other side. So anything that crossed, just switch across a little bit. It's going to feel funky if you've never done it. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward halfway. Find the squareness of the hips. Do the block trick. Keep your chin level so that you're not cranking your neck up. You can look up with your eyes, but not your neck. Then bring your left hand to your left hip. Right arm reaches out in front of you. Lengthen, rotate, then put the hand inside, outside foot shin or block. Stack shoulders. Work on the opening before you take the left arm in the air. Once the left arm gets in the air, you're holding. You're refining. You're finding your places that are sticking a little bit, maybe breathing into those spaces, and then finding the openness all around. Breathe in, breathe out. Find the deepest expression here. Then exhale, fold over your left leg. Fold. Inhale, look forward. Rebend your front knee, step into a 3-legged dog. And then find downward facing dog. Come high onto your toes, shift forward to a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, or just skip it, go back to dog. Downward dog. Hi, Val. Speaking of the downward dog. Hi. Good, I'll see you in a few minutes. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, let your knees come to the earth. Sit on your heels. Stretch your arms all the way out in front of you. Good. Inhale, come onto your hands and knees again. Adjust your cameras, some of you guys, so I can see you on the floor now. Take your forearms down. If you can't see me, let me know. Take your forearms down. Tuck your toes underneath your back in that forearm plank. Now shift forward so your shoulders are over your elbows. Lower your hips to the floor. Good. Bend your right knee. Flex your foot. Good. I'm keeping you in this cobra position or this sphinx position with your upper body. Just bend the right leg and kick the heel to the butt. When you do that, press the right hip down so your hips, again, are on level. Then take your left arm, keep it down on the floor. Take your right arm, hold on to the foot in either position. Some of you will be able to get your hand, turn your fingers forward. Now, probably not Karen or Maxie. So get your right hip so that the hip is back on the floor. So once you've reached around, you probably lifted your right hip a little bit to do that. And then start to level it off. You might not get as deep as you'd like or you think. Good. Release it. Take your hands down. Put your head on your hands and turn your toes in pigeon toe. Shift the waist side to side. Inhale, come back to your forearms. Level out your hips. Flex your left foot and kick it in the air. Keep the thigh down. Good, lift your chest up. So there's a lot of action in the hamstring. Now, left hand comes back, maybe reaches for the foot on either side, or turn your fingers forward. But again, now that you've done that, level the hip out. Bring your knee in line with your hip, so it's not, you're not kicking your foot out to the side here. So it's challenging. Then bring your left hip down. Can you lower your camera, Andy? And then release it. Take your hands down, turn your toes pigeon, put your forehead down. Come back to center. Good. Bring your arms by your side, flip your palms up. Let your head come down to the floor. Push through your pubic bone, top of the foot, shin. Lift your knees up. Inhale, lift your chest up. Bend your knees, flex your feet. Lift your thighs. Reach back for your feet, don't touch yet. Reach back, reach back, reach back. And then make it kind of hold on to it. Kick your feet away. Lift your heart up. Lift your heart, lift, kick your feet, all at the same time, resting on level hips. One more breath, kick a little higher. Exhale, release. Child's pose, open your knees wide. Bring your hands in between your thighs. Left ear to the floor. Relax your shoulders. Turn the other cheek. And then come on back to center. Walk your arms out in front of you. Inhale to your hands and knees. Forearms on the floor. Tuck your toes underneath you. Shift your hips off the floor, shoulders over elbows. Pull the belly in. You know where this is going, our final set. November, what is it, 10th? Take your hip and drop your right hip down. Come back to center, drop your left hip down. Come back to center, drop your right hip down. Back to center, drop your left hip down. And then go a few times on your own. Anytime you need to take a break, you bring your knees down to the floor. Randy, I can't see you at all. Maxine. Side to side. Do a few more on your own, please. If I say please, does it make it easier? Does it make it better? And then hold the plank in the center. Find your biggest energy burst here. Open up your arms, shift your hips forward, lower your hips to the floor, back into your Sphinx. Push back, cross one ankle in front of the other, and then sit back behind your legs. Sit the way we started. Bye, ET. See you on the weekend or tomorrow. Bring your hands on top of your knees. Lift your chest up. Exhale, chin to chest, roll back. Inhale, lift up. Hinge forward. Move to your right side. Back and around. So we did this with our pelvis, now we're doing it with our torso. And then let's reverse it. Come on back to center. Inhale, lift tall. Relax your shoulders, take your arms overhead. Open your arms to a T. Rotate to the right, left hand down, right hand back. Been there, done that. But do you have more space? Inhale up. Exhale, twist to the other side. Get the most length out of your spine and then make the rotation. Inhale, back up. Exhale, float the arms down, walk your hands forward. Rest, stop when you lift your hips off the floor, so don't let them lift. I should say rest before, stop before you lift your hips off the floor. Reach as far forward as you can. Stay for a few breaths and you'll probably find a little bit more space, so keep walking your hands out forward. Inhale, walk back in. Lean back, shake out your legs and switch the cross of your legs. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, open out. One more time, let's take that twist. Can you find a little bit more space this time? Relax your left shoulder down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Bye, Messi. Walk forward, hips go back. Find a little bit more space with each exhale. No force. Inhale, walk it back up. Exhale, lean back, shake out your legs. Walk your legs out in front of you, and then if you're towards the back of your mat, walk a little forward. I call this Jacqueline-asana. Walk a little forward so that when you go down, your head will be on the block, on the mat. I'm just going to turn my mat a little bit to the side, and then you can see me better. Sit up nice and tall, staff pose, Dandasana. Sit up tall, reach your arms out, and flex your feet. Inhale. Good. Exhale, chin to chest, roll backwards, scoop out your belly. Dig your heels in, make your knees nice and strong. And then slowly roll yourself down to the floor. Take your time. As you find your way to the floor, let your head come down, let your arms come down, let your hips open up. Take a breath. Exhale, bring your right knee to your chest. Head and shoulders lift and round and curl. Take your left leg up, just about an inch or two. Point both toes, both feet. Take your right leg, and extend it up in the air. Pull yourself a little higher if you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Lower your left leg. Lower your head. Bring your right knee into your chest. And let's hook the right foot underneath the left knee and take that spinal twist. Inhale to center. Both knees to the chest. Exhale. Right leg long, left knee in. Flex the feet. Lift the head and shoulders up. Point the toes, lift the right leg off the floor. Stretch your left leg in the air, pull yourself up a little bit higher perhaps. Lower your right leg, exhale, left knee to chest. Left foot hooks under the right thigh, and do your spinal twist. And inhale onto your back. Left knee up, right knee up. Round and curl, pull everything in tight. Exhale, stretch your legs up. Reach your hands to your feet. Lift your hips off the floor for 3, 2, and 1. Both knees to the chest. Open the arms out to a T, shift your hips right, both knees fold to the left side, a little bit deeper into your spinal twist if you have the room. Extend your legs out and take your right arm over your head. Open the arms, bend the knees, draw yourself back to center. Shift your hips left, knees fall to the right. Twist. If you have room, the space, the desire, stretch your legs out straight. Take your left arm overhead. Open the arms out. Bend the knees. Come back to center. Hug your knees to your chest. Tight little ball, everything comes together. Inhale. Exhale, head down, legs down. Stretch the arms one more time over your head. Reach everything really long away from your center. Find your biggest length here. Take a breath. And as you empty the breath, open your mouth, say ah. Let the arms fold down by your side, palms face open. If there's anything you'd like to be supported with in your Shavasana, cover your eyes, close your body, cover your body. Be supported on blocks, bolsters, or anything else. Let your body melt into your earth, into your mat. The support of your mat, always there for you. It's like your best friend. Shavasana, let go. If you can stay longer, turn off the video, turn off the sound, stay on your mat. Begin to deepen your breath and start to make small moves, fingers, wrists, toes, ankles. Bring yourself onto either side. And bring yourself out to a comfortable seat. And much as we started, bring your hands to your heart center. Acknowledging now the practice that you have just shared, and with gratitude to yourselves for showing up, for doing the work. And take another breath. And bow down to each other, to the light, the peace, the goodness, the love, the beauty within. Namaste. Satnam. Go in peace. If you're home, stay home, stay fit, stay healthy.